So then guys, the super exciting news for 2025 is that we are going to be getting a new Mac Studio, and inside of it we are going to get the M4 Max and also the M4 Ultra. And I don't know about you, I am super excited for both of these chips to be put inside of the Mac Studio. Now, the Mac Studio actually hasn't been updated now for almost 2 years. And let me give you a quick history lesson. The first time we actually got the Mac Studio was back in 2022. And essentially, Apple was saying it's kind of semi-replaced, I would say, the 27-inch iMac, what was out before it with the Intel sort of chips and things like that. And personally, I do miss that kind of large sort of iMac out there, and I do really hope that Apple do bring, say, an M4 Pro or M4 Max into, say, a 27-inch or 30-inch or 32-inch even sort of iMac in the future, because a lot of you guys, including myself, do really miss it. But apart from this then, the new Mac Studio came out at that time, and then alongside that, we got inside of it the M1 Max, and we also had the brand new M1 Ultra chip. The M1 Ultra chip was essentially two M1 Maxes sort of stitched together to give you double the amount of sort of CPU cores and GPU cores. And it also had a hefty bit of RAM inside of it, and there's some great storage options too. But one thing that made this Mac Studio really great was definitely its cooling design to keep everything really cool, even with the M1 Ultra. And then also we had some great ports added to this too. So for example, if you'd pick the M1 Ultra option, then you actually got a total of 6 Thunderbolt 4 ports in USB-C sort of form, and obviously you had some normal USB 3.2 ports. You also had the option of 10 gigabits of Ethernet to choose from, and overall it is a great device to actually just sit on your desk. And then alongside that, what you can also have is the Studio Display. Now the Studio Display did come out exactly the same time, and it has actually been updated ever since, you know, that original M1 Ultra Mac Studio came out. It's a 27-inch panel, and that panel has actually been borrowed from those old iMacs that I talked about a second ago. Well, been around, say, in that kind of sort of design sort of factor, in that kind of retina way, ever since about 2014 or so. But moving on from that, back in 2023 at WWDC, we actually got the upgrade to the M2 Max and the M2 Ultra inside of the Mac Studio. Nothing else really changed. The design's exactly the same, the ports are exactly the same, and really it was just the chips that were updated inside of it, and it was the most powerful Mac out there that you could buy. But interestingly, we didn't actually get an M3 Max or an M3 Ultra ever created to be put inside of the Mac Studio. It got completely missed out last year in 2024 to get an upgrade. But now in 2025, it definitely looks like it's going to get an upgrade, especially the fact that, say for example, an M4 Pro and definitely the M4 Max in CPU performance in some configurations can actually outperform what we have with the M2 Ultra. So definitely this does need a big upgrade. And the great news is that that upgrade is coming really soon, and most likely it's going to be coming before the summer of 2025. Now for the actual Mac Studio itself, in the actual design language, probably not much is going to change with it. But what I would be saying is going to change with those 6 USB-C ports, because it's going to have, say, the M4 Max and the M4 Ultra. What we will get is we'll get Thunderbolt 5 added to those ports, so that'll be really great to see. But probably the ones on the front of the Mac Studio, if you get the M4 Max, will probably just still be USB 3.2 speeds, but still that is really great to see. But for cores wise, the M4 Max, for example, right now can go up to a 16-core CPU and can also go up to a 40-core GPU. Now, if Apple decide to do something very similar to what they did with the M2 Ultra and the M1 Ultra, and sort of marry two sort of old sort of M Maxes together, then you can imagine the cores are probably going to be double the amount of what we get inside of the Max version right now. So what we're talking about is we can have the potential up to 32 cores for the CPU, and then we could also have the potential up to 80 cores with the GPU. What's going to be absolutely phenomenal to see. This will make the Mac Studio a super powerhouse of a device to actually buy. And there's also the potential that Apple might even decide to up the RAM to be close to be probably around about 400 gigabytes that you could potentially buy. Probably be in the late 300 sort of range, but this is going to be crazy that you could probably configure it to actually have this. Now, obviously you can imagine if you do sort of top it up to the biggest amount of storage, what's 8 terabytes, the max amount of RAM, and obviously go for the full fat top range, sort of the M4 Ultra, you can imagine this is going to cost a lot to buy this device. So just be aware of that. But there is another device out there what is really, really powerful, and as it were, it's like a mini version of the Mac Studio, and that is what we've got right here. This here is a Mac Mini, and funny enough, I'm actually giving away this Mac Mini that we have right here. This Mac Mini actually has an M4 Pro inside of it. It is the 12-core version of this, of the CPU, and it does actually have inside of it 24 gigabytes of RAM, and it also has inside it 512 gigabytes of storage. But I'm giving this away to one lucky subscriber at the end of March time, and you can still enter into this giveaway right now. All you have to do at this stage at the moment is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025. Maybe it's going to be the new Mac Studio. Maybe it's going to be, say, a new MacBook Air or MacBook Pro. Maybe it's going to be nothing to do with Apple. It could be the Switch 2. I'm definitely going to get one of them. Could be the PS5 Pro. Could be one of those NVIDIA RTX graphics cards. Just let me know in the comments below of what you're planning to get. And like I said, this is the part 1 of the giveaway to enter in. The second part is going to be happening near the end of March time, where I'll be making a video telling you guys also about a form to fill in too, and all the details will be in that video when it comes out the end of March time. But what I would also say is that video is going to tell you when I'm going to do the live stream for this Mac Mini, and you won't want to miss out on that video. So the best thing that you can do right now is make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell not to miss out on that video. And plus you want to be a subscriber too, because I'm giving this away to a subscriber. The last thing I just want to quickly say to you guys is that sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, telling you to WhatsApp, telling you to, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people, or best still, as you can see right here, please do report them. So moving on then for the release date and also the price. Now, like I just mentioned, the actual release date is probably more likely to be on target to be towards, say, summer 2025 than going to be in springtime. Apple have enough products that will be coming out in springtime, including, say, the M4 MacBook Air. There's going to be a new iPad Air with the M3, the new iPhone SE, AirTags 2, there's going to be the 11th generation iPad. You can see there's a lot of products there. And there could be even upgrades to the Apple TV, for example, or maybe something else as well. So more than likely the Mac Studio is going to be upgraded at WWDC time in 2025. And in fact, you can actually see this leak here from Mark Gurman, who kind of actually agrees with this, that it's going to be kind of summertime, we're going to see the upgrade to the M4 Ultra and the M4 Max for the Mac Studio. So, it's not that far away, and the great news is that normally when Apple do an event for WWDC, it's at the beginning half of June time. So yeah, this is going to be really, really exciting to see with this. Now, for price-wise, what I would also be saying, what's going to be really, really good to hear, is that more than likely the price of what we get with the M2 Max and the M2 Ultra in the Mac Studio is going to stay exactly the same. So the baseline sort of M2 Max, it isn't the full version of the M2 Max with all the cores and everything, but I think it's 512 gigabytes of storage and things like this. Well, you can actually get that for $2,000 off Apple's website. And then for the baseline sort of M2 Ultra right now from Apple, and this is the one with, say, the 1 terabyte sort of storage and things like this, well, that's actually $4,000. So more than likely the baseline versions of both of them are going to stay exactly the same. So obviously, depending on how you configure how much RAM and how much storage and how many more cores you want, then obviously that will change the amount how it's going to cost. But there we go, that's the baseline it will cost you when it does come out. But apart from that then guys, really there's not really anything else that could be changing with the sort of Mac Studio, apart from maybe a new color like you've seen in these renders in this video today, what could be the space black. But apart from that, it's more than likely nothing else is going to be changing with it. But with that, are you excited for the new Mac Studio with the M4 Max and the M4 Ultra? Are you going to be getting yourself one? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.